Hi, Rev Rainbow here of RevRainbow.com, curator of the Self-Care Fellowship and creator of Affirmaware Affirmation Apparel. Here with you today with day 5 of the 7-day self-care challenge. And as we are moving up through the chakra systems, today we are on the throat chakra. And the energy of this 5th chakra is all about speaking powerfully, authentically, standing in our truth and clearly articulating that. And the goal to know when our throat chakra is fully open and activated, then we can speak clearly and powerfully with love and compassion. So that is the goal today as we work through our practices. It's really to be in our own and discover our own authentic voice. And the work that we've laid the foundation for with the previous days really lends towards this. So we start with really that foundational base and the root chakra of releasing fear, feeling that support and safety, moving up into that creative energy and really starting to define who we are and stand in our power and the solar plexus, and then meeting that with the love in our heart. And all of this, releasing the fear and the self-judgments and the self-doubt, standing in our power and adding the love of our heart to this now gets to be articulated clearly when our throat chakra is opened. So for our affirmation today, let's start there. It says, "My voice is powerful, honest, and true." Let's say that together. My voice is powerful, honest, and true. Yes. Our practice today comes from something that I actually learned when I was studying theater, and it's from this book called Freeing Your Natural Voice. And the idea is actually just to start to put some vibration to our breath. And it's going to look like this. Hum. So you're just adding a gentle hum and really breathing in deeply, using your diaphragm to then push out that air and just allow it to come across your vocal cords and make a gentle sound. Ha, hum. And what this does is it starts to open up and wake up the energy in the throat. So some other tools for opening your throat chakra are singing, chanting, humming. So let's do this exercise together a few times. I'll lead it through and you can just do it with me. And I know it may feel a little uncomfortable sometimes, just using sound and using our voice in a way we're not familiar with. So again, I ask you to stretch your comfort zone and just be willing to try and discover something new. The other great thing about this practice is the mantra, the sound that's related to opening the throat chakra is a hum, ha-hum. So it's very similar to this practice that we're doing as well. So let's take a breath. Ha, hum. Again, deep breath. Ha, hum. And not trying to force any sound, but just allow it to come naturally, authentically, and not judging it in any way. You may notice that it sounds perhaps a little bit lower than your normal speaking voice. So just observe without judgment and observe with curiosity as we try this one more time together. Beautiful. So that may be something you want to play with some more. You might also want to explore some various chants or some songs just to add some extra energy and vibration to your throat chakra. So let's get into today's challenge. So this is really a wonderful opportunity to practice self-care in a way of being able to speak up and make a clear request. So your challenge is to think of an area in your life, perhaps a person or something that you have been withholding, that you know is something that you would like to speak up around or share about. Perhaps it's even a boundary that you need to set, something that you need to, that you would like to request for yourself. So just be open to listen, to hear, to know what it may be that you have been holding back. And usually we hold back because we are afraid of what someone else may think, or we are afraid of judgment. So that's why when we do the work to really get grounded and centered and stand in our own strength and know that we are fully supported, and to stand in our own confidence and with love and compassion, then we can begin to let go of those perceived fears and judgments about ourselves and others so that we can speak more honestly and clearly. So think again of a situation. Just be open to see what pops into your mind. Allow it to be an intuitive process here. You'll know. And then make the decision to practice making a request. And I say practice because if it is uncomfortable for you, if this is a little bit out of your comfort zone, you might want to write it out first. You know, an example may be asking for a day off. Or perhaps it is asking for your mother-in-law to call, that you would really love for her to, you prefer for her to call before just stopping by. And maybe it's a little uncomfortable to think of making that request. So think in your life of a request you can make that is really coming from an authentic place, an honest place, a truthful place, and to be able to speak this powerfully, clearly, and with love and compassion. And so again, you might want to write it out, think it through, practice role play. And perhaps there's someone in the self-care fellowship that you want to reach out to and say, hey, I could use some work on this idea of making a request and speaking clearly and speaking up for my needs. And ask someone to, hop on a phone with you and let you practice your request. And then the second part of today's challenge, and this goes hand in hand if you want to partner with someone on this, is the reverse of that. So sometimes for people, using their voice powerfully is actually learning to say no, and learning to say no more often, or no thank you, when you are used to always saying yes in a way that is putting others in front of your own self-care. So this can be a great way to partner with someone and practice making a request, and then have that other person practice saying no, and notice how you are in that moment hearing and receiving no, and still standing in your power and truth and not taking it personally. And then practice the reverse of that and let the other person make a request and you practice saying no, even though it might not feel very comfortable. If you notice you might have the need to people please or whatever comes up, just observe that, love yourself through it, and get into that practice. So that's your challenge for the day, and I'm excited to hear what it is that you have chosen and how that's going for you. Share in the group and in the fellowship. And if you're enjoying this 7-day self-care challenge, please share it with anyone that you think could benefit. Anyone, and you can add them to our self-care fellowship, and they can click on the video section and begin the self-care 7-day challenge at any point. So let's just review quickly. We have our affirmation. My voice is powerful, honest, and true. Look forward to hearing from you. Please share in the group and have a beautiful day.